It's the first time I didn't spoke on a youngster situation.
All right, it's Taste from Taste of Fame. I got my boys here. My boys, man. Old Gangsta, OG Giggity.
Wow, what's that? You talking about this taste of fame? We ain't got no food right here. You supposed to have the food, the taste of fame.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, look,
Okay.
I feel you, brother. And look, but we got this, man, it's the People's Champ right here, but we also got Diesel out the milk. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Diesel.
Wow, this is boy Diesel. Y'all already know.
Hey, we're going to go ahead and get started. You know, it's a lovely day today. Both of y'all are New Orleans natives. I just watched the 20-year Katrina documentary, but I want to hear your thoughts about it.
Well, I didn't watch it. Yeah, I was locked up when that happened.
Okay. What about you?
I didn't watch it either.
You didn't watch it? Okay. So I'm not from New Orleans, but I felt like after watching it, I blame the mayor. He ended up doing some time, about 10 years in Texas, but I felt like he didn't let people know soon enough. But talking to you, I know y'all were locked up, but what was your perspective being in Angola, Diesel? Did you? Was anybody talking about it during that time?
Yeah, all the inmates from New Orleans came to Angola. They came up there by us.
Oh, okay.
Katrina, whatever.
Okay, and did that change the dynamics for y'all? Did it make it more violent there, or?
No, it wasn't violent. It's just that everybody was still trying to seek and find their family members. Like me, I took almost 6 months to find out what my family was.
Wow, 6 months. What about you and your family?
It was a few days because I kept calling, like the cell phone would go in and out, and I made contact. And when I made contact, I found out that my mother and grandfather was in a shelter in Dallas.
Wow.
Yeah, in Dallas. They gave him a car. My grandfather had a birthday. They gave him a cake and everything, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And is your grandfather, is he still with us?
Now he passed at 102. He was 102 years when he passed.
Oh man, sorry for your loss.
Yeah, man.
Okay, but they came to Texas.
Yep, Dallas, Texas, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, the mayor, I felt like he didn't let people know in time, you know, to kind of evacuate. But watching the documentary, it felt like people within the different, like French Quarter, they felt like it really wasn't going to be a storm. Like they just wanted to kind of buckle down and stay in their homes. Like talking to relatives, did they feel like that as well? Like the living from and being from New Orleans, did y'all always hear about hurricanes and did y'all like ignore them, kind of like tornadoes here in Texas?
Yeah, 'cause we always thought it was a joke. Like, oh man, it's gonna be all right. Like my mother and grandfather, oh, it's gonna be all right. And when that joint hit, they're like, oh, it ain't gonna be all right, you know. But I was just shocked to see. I'm used to seeing stuff like that on the news, CNN in other countries. Not it hit, like you know, okay, you'd be like, okay, now it hit in the United States, but then it hit the city I was born and raised in, where all my family at. That was a different ball game for me.
And I, after watching the documentary, it felt like the storm, everyone was okay, but when those levees broke, did y'all ever hear any conspiracies on that? Did people feel like the government may have did that, or?
Yeah, they were saying they blew it up and all that. Yeah, yeah. They may have people say, I heard a loud boom. So yeah.
And I feel like New Orleans is one of my top 3 spots. I tell you this all the time. Like I love New Orleans. Most people go there to party and have a good time and really just tear up the city. I feel like that's what they go to do, outsiders. I think they could have did more to celebrate the lives that were lost. Like for me in the United States, if you want to go party in the South, you go to New Orleans. That's where you go. You go have fun. You go to Mardi Gras. You do this, you do that. But I don't feel like it was even talked about. Like even the documentary, I'm asking y'all haven't seen it. I don't know if they did anything within the city to celebrate the lives after 20 years. Do y'all feel like they could have did more, or someone could have stepped up a little bit more to recognize the people that died?
Yeah, of course. You know, we always want more, you know, but then some people be feeling like, I am giving it some kind of attention. Then you got some people like, I don't want to keep reliving this, you know. But I had a guy who was supposed to, I was supposed to interview because he was in the Superdome when all this stuff had happened. So, um, yeah, he was supposed to tell me his story, the stuff he had witnessed and stuff. But
People died in there.
yeah, hmm
Leonard Fournette. They had him on ESPN talking about how him and his family were treading through the water, wading through the water, and they slept on the bridge for like 7 days.
Wow.
And I think a lot of times, you know, if it's not a celebrity or if it's not someone who they're deeming important, people don't care. But I feel like all the lives that are lost, they're just forgotten. So, like, from your perspective, Diesel, what do you think the city or the country could have done to recognize people?
You said you saw the documentary. Do they have like a wall with like for the veterans that was killed? They come up with that yet? Do you know?
That's a great idea. I feel like that could be something that someone could do. Yeah, even a business opportunity for someone or something that the city could do. Because the mayor, a couple of years after, you know, he served time in Texas for bribery and money laundering for accepting bids and getting paid to have certain bids in New Orleans with the federal funds. He was worried about that money, but then the people who died, it's like he's not worried about them. What are y'all thoughts on that?
I don't like to blame the mayor because people, they knew what was going on. They knew it was coming. So, but like I say, we just took it for granted. When I say we took our people that was out there, because my mother and grandfather was stuck in the house. So, just like any other hurricane or something coming out, oh, it's gonna be all right. Oh, we're gonna weather the storm, you know. So, I just look at it as a lot of them made it out. Texas, Florida, Mississippi, all of them showed how people love, embraced them, let them come through. Now they had some problems in Houston with the little children they got there with the fighting and you know you come in, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But for the most part, I was just happy that a lot of people was able to find shelter. You got some people. And let me tell you the crazy thing. When I was locked up, and I used to hear that people was like, "Oh, I'm never going back to New Orleans. I'm out of here now. I got a better life. I'm gonna start all over, yada yada yada." And I used to be like, "Oh, they turned me back when I was city. I don't like them no more." I used to always say that, bro. It wasn't until I got out and then I came to Texas, I'm like, wow, this is one of the best moves I could ever made. Because I had been locked up half my life, so I couldn't fathom leaving New Orleans. And I'm like, I don't know no other city. I don't want to go to no other city. Y'all tell me y'all ain't going back to the city. Y'all wrong. Da, da, da. Now I get out here and I done moved to another city and love it out here, you know. So,
See, and I love that you said that. And just to throw this in, you know, we will be talking to the youth, not only in Texas, different states, nationwide. And the biggest thing I push as an educator is exposure. And I've listened to Diesel in past interviews, and he was like, I'm out here in Texas. I'm traveling with this man. I'm seeing different things, even talking to Butter, just seeing that he'll be released soon, who introduced me with you. Yeah. I think it's all about exposure. If we're in our cities, in our prospective cities, we only see killing, murder, surviving, selling drugs. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was just in my city. But now I'm figuring out it's in New Orleans, it's in Chicago, it's everywhere. How important is exposure and seeing different cities? How important is that to you and Diesel?
It's very important because if you haven't been somewhere, you will speak out of ignorance. You know, but once you get to witness it, you say, oh, okay, they living how we living. Oh, okay, they got this over here. I know they go in that area. Okay, I know we go over here. This is what it's civilized people that just out the way. They down with the bull crap. This is where you got your hood, where they cut, slinging that iron, and you know, doing all kind of violent stuff. So it's very important to know about other people's way of life.
And how about you? Because I tell people 85 to 90% of my first cousins all served time. Okay. And I got 3 still locked up right now. One keeps coming in, going out, keeping in, coming out. I keep telling him, he's in a smaller town, 100,000 people, and I tell him, come to the city. It's more felon friendly. You can get a job. You don't have to go back to that. So how important is exposure and seeing something for a person who's coming up on 1 year? Because I know you're almost at 1
Right.
year. If you're not at 1 year,
All
being
right. Different culture, you know, seeing different people, seeing how they react and interact with people. Like coming to Texas, man, I ain't never been around Mexicans before. Never. I mean, since I grew up. And I mean, being around them every day, man, you see, man, it's a different atmosphere.
and not only that, where I was, it was just Mexican. So,
Right.
but where you are, I'm sure it's Central America. They
Everywhere.
everywhere.
They
Yeah.
got
So
everything.
you're thinking you can't even say Mexican.
Right,
Because
right.
some of them might be Nicaraguan.
Right.
They might be from South America.
They got some African guys there as well.
Yeah, and,
Mhm.
and you see even within, just like us, we're all three black, but we all have nuances and different things about us. And seeing that about other people, that's something that you enjoy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You know, where I grew up at, guys didn't work. We never worked. We ain't never thought about a job. Nah, I come up here, everybody love working.
See, and I tell people, like, we didn't work, but then also we ain't never had one woman. I didn't have one. Nobody had one woman.
No.
So I tell my wife that, and she's like, "What do you mean? That is what it was." So I'm saying that is my reality. So that was my reality, and you saying what your reality was. What would your advice be for people who are fresh out to keep them from going back?
Stay around negative people, negative conversations, and you know, get around people that want the best for you. They're gonna let you know they want the best for you. They're gonna show you that.
So I love that. And Gangsta, even talking with you, you know, I can tell you're a next level thinker. You're intentional with the words that you say and that you plan and promote. Like, that's just who you are. So you've been out longer than Diesel. What advice would you give for people who are fresh out on what they should do to stay out?
First, find something you want to do legal. Let me just put that in the legally. But like the saying go, the old adage go, you are the company you keep. So if you round bad company, negative stuff, that's the stuff you're going to adopt to. But if you round dudes that's trying to get money, focusing on getting money, want to start a business, want to do something legal, that's what you're going to get adjusted to. But the main thing is don't be patient. Don't get impatient, because when you get impatient, that's when the problems come in. Because a lot of us that go to jail, do a long bid, we was the man, getting money, riding night, had all the girls. Now we come home, it's the next man up, and we looking like, man, what this chump doing? I supposed to have this, I supposed to have that. We feel like we're entitled to this stuff, and then we go to want to step out there, we don't know who the feds, who they got to investigate, what's going on, and then before you know it, we back doing another stretch. Then you be in your, man, I shouldn't have did that, or the coulda, shoulda, woulda. So when you come home, get your game plan together, but most importantly, man, be careful who you hang out with.
And I think that's advice for everyone, because I try to tell kids, with all my cousins being locked up, you got cousins that's in prison, cousins that's in education, some of them still selling dope, all just everywhere. And I asked them, it's no difference between all of us. We all grew up the same. We just made these different decisions that may have led our lives through different eras. So that advice that you're giving people fresh out, anyone can take that advice. So that's powerful right there. I shared with y'all about my dad recently passing. I saw on a podcast, you said that your mom died in 2005.
Yeah.
I was thinking that it was because of Katrina.
Mm-mm.
I was thinking that, how did she pass? And also with your grandma, how and what year did she pass?
My grandmother passed in 18. My mother had sugar diabetes, I think. They didn't tell me exactly. Nobody told me that. They said they didn't want to worry me. But I think she died of sugar diabetes. Yeah.
And what about your grandmother?
My grandma old age. My grandma was almost 100.
Well, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we have different people in our lives, because I heard you and I felt it whenever you were like, everybody's gone. When my dad passed, everyone was telling me, sorry for your loss, and you listening, but I have to deal with that mentally by myself.
Right.
Like, I thank y'all for your condolences, but I have to deal with that, and I have to live this life by myself. Who in your family was that positive influence for you, who was trying to get you in the right direction growing up?
Growing up,
Yes.
positive direction. My uncle, he was in the military. I hated him though. Yeah, because he always on me, wanted me to go to the military and all that other stuff there. And he tried to keep his kids away from me because the things I was doing.
Sound like me.
Yeah. But I look back now, I should have listened to him. Hmm.
And I know how I felt because I was one of those kids. Like, you don't need to go hang with him, that cousin, because they live in this certain area where they doing these certain things. How does that make you feel? And that's why I treat everybody the same now. Did that affect you later on in life? You think getting treated different?
Yes, it did. Because I was doing the wrong things, you know. I went to listen to all the negative people instead of doing the positive things, you know. They had guys that I could have, you know, done right with, but I wanted to be, you know, follow the road like me and Terrence was on. All those guys there. All the guys you know, we know them all. The same people.
Okay.
All the people, for real.
And what about you? Who was positive in your life?
Nobody.
Nobody.
I had all gangsters in my life. I had everybody telling me how to do wrong. Like, you know, my mother go to school, boy, but she had to go to work. So, you know, the people I come around just taught me how to be a criminal, taught me how to be the best at what I do, as far as criminal-wise. So I ain't never had nobody sit me down and tell me, boy, you go to jail, this gonna happen. Let's go all in jail. No, I never had that.
We're gonna switch gears just a little bit. What do y'all think about Young Thug snitch? That's what I want to. I want to hear gangster. What do you think about Young Thug?
I ain't never thought about it. I I stayed away from it because, you know, like I tell everybody, when we was coming up, you're not gonna see interrogation footage. We didn't do that, you know. So I always tell them, they portray the gangster role. Don't go in that interrogation room. Don't do it, man, because everything you say and then you thinking them people protect you, this and this, and sometimes they can't stand you. So if they're gonna expose what you say, what's going on. And it was just one of them situations where, you know, Thug just was talking, and they'll look at it like, well, I ain't put nobody in jail, nobody didn't get arrested. But you still should have never talked about other people's business. You know, from a street perspective, you know, you shouldn't have done that. And now that's why so many people been tearing him up. I was like, man, I ain't gonna get him. Then, you know, sometimes I look at like, I don't really have a dog in that fight, or I don't really have a right to really speak on another man's situation because of my situation. So that's why I never made a video or talked about it. Plenty of people like, man, we want to hear your perspective. This is the first time I didn't spoke on a young situation.
And I appreciate you for talking about it because, like, for me, I tell people, if something happens to me, just like it happened to my dad, y'all can put everything on me. I'm giving y'all permission. I'm giving everybody permission to put something on me.
You ain't got to give me permission. I'm going to do it anyway.
My thought is that that's totally different what you did. You know, they were trying to, whenever you first came with that, they were trying to give you the blues.
Yeah.
But then you got these boys coming out here, and y'all both been locked up.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever y'all are using phones, even those phones that somebody done snuck in, do you talk on those phones knowing that somebody's probably listening? Or do you think you feel?
See, that the phones he was on was the jail phone. So now one would say, okay, who released these recordings? You know what I'm saying? There's only a certain amount of people that have access to those jail calls. But then again, I know in the feds, the CO could list our call in the office is to be on the computer. So ain't no telling now that I think about it, ain't no certain amount. Everybody got access to that. So it might be one of the most dirty officers that felt like, you know what? I don't like Thug. You know, I'm gonna put this out. Cause they got him on a lot of stuff, man. You know, talking about different people and all that. So
he said Glorilla was ugly.
Yeah, he did. You know, watch out. You know, that's how we used to be, man, watch out, man. Watch out, excuse me. Watch out, I ain't even trying to see you, you know? But I was like, whoa. And then sometimes I be like, I wonder what Thug think or how he feel that they putting out his recordings. Do he regret saying it? Or he might be like, man, I said that. You know, sometimes be one of them moments like, man, I can't believe I said that about him. You know, so yeah, he got one thing about it, but the internet gonna keep something entertaining for us. That's a fact. Keep something entertaining for us, bro. That internet. Gonna keep something entertaining.
And when people, I saw on one podcast, people will, the officers will sneak those phones in for people that they paid for, knowing that it's tapped. The phone that they're giving you. So say I'm a officer in there, I sneak something in for you and Diesel. I give y'all the phone. I know it's tapped, but y'all thinking that it's legal.
In order to get a phone tap, you got to go to the judge. You got to get, legal grounds right. So I don't think that, and then you can't just do what you call entrapment. You bring somebody, well, here you want, try to bust them with that, right? So I don't think the phone be tapped. I think all the information that they be getting, either two-way, either somebody on the street phone tap, and they call into that phone, and they got the recordings, or they on their jail phone, and they talking, and they thinking, okay, they'll tell you all this call being recorded and monitored. The jail phone call tells you that, but we never thinking that our jail call is going to get out to the streets. We never think that.
And what are your thoughts on cell phones?
To be honest, we used to talk freely on them. We never thought that it was tapped or anything. The cell phone that they bring in, yeah, we used to talk freely about drugs and all of those stuff there.
So if something popped up 5-10 years later, and they like, man, Diesel said this.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't conscious of all the stuff, phone being tapped and all that. We wasn't thinking that the COs would bring some tapped phones in. We bringing 100 of them at a time, so you ain't thinking like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you be like, man, that wasn't me. So tell me what y'all think about karma right here. Now, I'm bringing this up because Little Woody was big on calling him out, on calling Young Thug out. Him, 6ix9ine, Whack 100. They was all calling Young Thug out for snitching, and then he ended up with a motorcycle accident and messing up his face and his head because he wasn't wearing a helmet. Do y'all think that's karma towards Lil Woody, or kind of like you saying he shouldn't have been speaking on a man anyway?
I don't believe in that karma stuff. I just believe whatever God got for you gonna happen, regardless, good or bad. In Islam, we just say alhamdulillah, good or bad. So it just one of those situations that Woody is popular on social media, and whatever he do, everybody gonna watch. And they're going to scrutinize the situation. So it's like, okay, you did this, look what happened to you now. I mean, nah.
What are your thoughts?
I don't, like I said, karma, he on a motorcycle accident, right? He need a helmet. He's supposed to wear a helmet and drive, ride safely. That's why I hate motorcycles. I know how to ride one, but they don't have no protection. Yeah. And I'm going to wear a helmet if I'm on one. Yeah.
Smart man.
Oh, yeah.
So look, y'all reach out to us. I know it's some organization with motorcycles. Y'all reach out to us if y'all need a advertisement.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you.
But these are from the meth.
Yeah, they need a helmet. Bring your helmet.
Good about me. Give me a helmet too. Let me get it on. If they paying, let me.
Yeah, you gonna get on there.
Yeah, but they ain't paying. You go ahead and handle your business.
No, they ain't paying.
Because I seen it was wild. I seen they had a Mount Rushmore of people snitching. It had Tekashi 6ix9ine on there. I think Whack 100 was on there. Our boy Charleston was on there.
Did I make the cut?
You didn't make the cut.
Oh man.
So I said, man, you look, hey, you a real one.
Man, I don't want to be.
The people that smoke, you ain't on there.
That's what I don't like. But I would say this: the squares, the L7s, what we call them, they winning. All the gangsters either dead or in jail. And then you got a handful of gangsters that be on social media trying to regulate that. Oh no, y'all should be doing y'all. Man, you don't supposed to be on here. That's how you draw attention to yourself. If you still in them streets, why you on social media?
And that's the segue into my next question. Did y'all watch that Hernandez Govan interview on Vlad?
Yeah.
So I want y'all to put y'all detective hats on. Put your because I'm reading the comments, and some people say he lying, some people say he telling the truth. He looks solid. But Hernandez Govan from Memphis was accused, of killing Young Dolph and was acquitted. Does he look guilty to y'all?
Well, he wasn't accused of killing Young Dolph. He was accused of sending a hit.
Oh, okay.
Orchestrate help, getting the money and paying them to do it. I don't know. I don't know what a guilty person look like. Oh, wait a second. You know what I'm saying? I just knew he got found not guilty. So not guilty. That the jury of his peers called, not guilty. So I don't know. I didn't look at the whole trial, but I know him from talking on the phone, and me and him then talk way when the first group with the trial. So it's always been we back and forth talked about different stuff. But honestly, bro, now that I'm free, um, I'll be focusing on doing my movie. A lot of stuff I don't even much lock into. I don't.
Hey, out of sight, out of mind.
These will be washing dishes, so he be at
Yeah,
work.
I love washing dishes.
Yeah,
Man.
he tear up.
Hey, man, to keep your hands right.
Yeah.
Head tear up.
And they got a million women there, so I'm cool.
Hey, man.
Yeah, that's the best thing in the
Don't
world.
say nothing about the women, man. Do it. Hey,
That's what they got there. The Daisy Dukes on.
that's what they do.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way as Gangsta?
I don't really know too much about none of that. I just come home, so really, he know. He like you say, he didn't talk to him a few times. I don't know none of them guys or anything.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this. So he was accepting. So even with all of that happened, he was ready to accept a 10-year plea, but the family said no. So they were trying to get him on life.
Life sentence.
Then they started trying to work these deals out, and instead of him getting life, he was like, "Shoot, I do 10 years. I might have to do 6 of that.
Okay.
With his time served already." And he was ready to sign and do that with his lawyer, but the family was really trying to twist that knife in him, and said no, and he ended up getting acquitted. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, like the family didn't agree for him to get 10. They were like, no, we want him with life.
Yes.
And he was like, all right, well, and then the DA was like, okay, well, with the 10 off the table. Now I know they feel stupid because the man was ready to take that guilty plea. That's crazy. He about to ready to take it. Here's the thing. If I'm indicating I'm ready to take this guilty plea, so I'm saying, okay, y'all got me. I am guilty. But now when I go to trial, get found not guilty, I know they ticked off now. Because now they like, man, we got an innocent man walking the street. I mean, a guilty man walking the streets, but he was tried by a jury, so now ain't no taking that back. And that go to show you the greed of the DA. They want to please the family members, but at the end of the day, we got a man, he ready to plead out. So let the man take this guilty plea, and we got to plead. No, we want him stuck in there for life. Now he on the street. So now you got to deal with seeing him do all these interviews, talk about different stuff.
Well, I didn't know that he was going to admit to it. So he's saying he was guilty.
Yeah, he was gonna take a plea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if somebody give me life and somebody say 10, I'm gonna take 10 too.
Because you saying how he looked. Do he look guilty? So he is guilty because he was like, hey, I did this here. Oh, here come the food, y'all.
Yeah, I'm about to get happy. This is the part where I get happy at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're at Social Live, and we have some of this good food that's being brought out to us.
Oh, yeah.
Honey sriracha wings.
Honey sriracha wings.
Sure.
AB, is it? Oh, man.
Chicken nachos.
Chicken nachos.
Let's see.
Got his hands. Oh, okay. Set it right. Thank you, my brother.
Sir.
All right. Oh.
What do you say? Put the rice on there, Breezy. Let me see how they rice it.
Y'all come to Social Live, get you some good drinks, nice and
We had
vibe,
no shrimp on there.
feel VIP.
Okay.
Get some of these wings too. You can't have a club without no wings. And I like my wings done. Sometimes they get like medium well. I like mine done.
I got the chicken nacho, the soft little nachos, really good. Got the seasoning going. I like this. It's pretty good. So whenever y'all in Fort Worth,
Fort Worth.
stop by. What's the name of the place again?
Social Live.
Social Live. Social Live. It's nice little setting in here. Pretty cool. Nice.
So they were pretty much being greedy. The family possibly, wanting him to serve life when he was just implicated, during the whole process, which is wild to me.
Right.
But like you say, the brother's free. Big ups to you, Hernandez, Govan. Sorry for your loss with the Dolph family. 'Cause I'm a Dolph fan as well, but you know the man's free. He said he didn't have anything to do with it. That's all we can take it as. And he was found, like you say, by his group of peers. He was found innocent.
So do they have anybody for the murder?
They do. 2 guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did they mention him, her name there, to do it, the guy?
Uh,
What they paid him?
Some testified on.
Okay.
But the problem is, I found out guilty. I know. I wonder how the ones that testified on, how they feel.
now they got the label. Now they done told, but he didn't get found guilty.
Damn.
I'm not going. I ain't not gonna give you no money. I ain't telling you nothing.
They see no money and then go. Yeah. Let's talk about Angola. I'm gonna go back to the Crunchy Black because I had a question on him, but Boosie's headed to prison. Speaking of Angola, and I got 2 questions. I got a question I don't think nobody's ever asked Diesel. I'm gonna ask him today.
Okay.
But Boosie's going to headed to prison on that plea deal. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
On one hand, I don't believe he's gonna do time because he's been to that White House. I believe he's gonna pardon him. But on the other hand, he don't do no more than a year if he do.
Okay.
How you feel about him going? Like,
I always put it on nobody.
okay. Not even on your worst enemy.
I do. I don't know why people say that. I want him in there. Suffer.
I prefer him these days than okay. So go to prison and suffer. Okay.
And this question I've been wanting to ask. I said, everyone always asks Terrence. They always ask Gangsta about Boosie. And him and Boosie got into it for about 2 months? How long was y'all beefing? About that protective custody.
I don't know. It's been a minute though. Boosie want to keep my career off.
Exactly. He got him jumping. So I'm gonna ask you this question. I listened to an interview. You said that pretty much you were working with people who were on death row, guys that did horrible things. But to me, when I listened to you, it sounded like you had the keys to the prison, pretty much. Like you knew what was happening.
Right.
I'm asking you that was in Angola. Was Boosie in protective custody?
No.
Okay. He was not.
No.
Okay. So we can set that record straight. He said it and Gangsta said it as well, but I'm like, you're the only one that I know who was probably in Angola during that time. So this coming from the mouth, from the faucet.
He wasn't, Charlie Hankton, C. Murder, all them guys was in the same place where Boosie was because of their fame, They're not gonna just throw them in population not knowing what's going on. They never done no celebrity that.
So they're not in there with y'all, but they're in a section with them.
Yeah, they're on the death row. There's a tip called CCR,
CCR.
where death row is located at.
Okay.
Got 2 CCR tiers. They was on those tiers there. Yeah. They weren't actually on the tier with the guy that was gonna get killed for got a death row. No. No. You got all kinds of people up there. M13, MS13, and all kinds of stuff. Crips blood,
Okay.
high profile cases.
Okay, so you said he was in CCR, which is in death row. So technically, when he said he was on death row, he wasn't on death row, but he was in death.
In the death row building.
He was in a death row
He
building.
was in the death row building.
So he's communicating with other death row inmates, possibly.
Unless he hollered through the vent, they never see each other.
Okay.
They never see each other.
Okay.
These tiers are locked down.
Okay. So it's all locked down, and they would have like him, C. Murder, and what was the other cat that you talked about?
Telly Hankton, Lee Lucas, all guys with big names that had big money on the streets before they got up there.
So you being an inmate in there, even though you moved around, did you ever see those guys?
Yeah.
Like the C. Murder and T?
Yeah, yes indeed.
Okay. So were they out on like in the yard with everybody?
Well, yeah, because they had life sentences. Boosie didn't have no time, so they couldn't put him in population anyway. He didn't have time.
Okay.
He was fighting the charge.
And so when you have like C. Murder had time.
He had life sentence. So he was, after you come, after a few months, they see that he all right, then they can throw him in population. Yeah.
And the way Boosie described Angola, and of course here in Texas, I didn't know what Angola was until the social media came. Cause we dealing with state prisons, we thinking about Bloody Beaumont. We think that's one of the worst prisons. One of my homeboys just got killed in there. in Beaumont. So that's like one of the worst prisons that I know of in Texas. But the way Boosie described Angola was like on Life, the movie Life, where say y'all are picking cotton.
That's
they got a
Angola.
white guy with a gun on.
That's
the horse.
Angola.
Really?
Yeah, you ain't got the white guy on the horse no more. It's the blacks.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how was that experience for you? So that's you going back. Go ahead.
When you speak on Beaumont, that's federal. Bloody Beaumont federal. So that's why, it's different.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But how was it? You know, you always hear about your ancestors picking cotton, this and that. How was your experience picking cotton and kind of working? From my understanding, like you have to work for every day in that.
I didn't have to do as much work as other guys used to have to work because I used to use my size up. Like I was too small. I couldn't do this. The free man would be like, oh man, that's a little man. You can't be doing all this and that. And the free man used to give me a pass all the time. So I got out a lot of work behind my size. Yeah. They got them tools cutting down trees and all that. I'm acting like the tool too heavy. Yeah, they'd be like, oh, the tool bigger than him. So I mean, or you just get on that water bucket or you pick the trash up. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you know, you said that you were in there and you were working on that death row unit.
Yeah.
And you talking to these guys who killed their families. What are some of the worst things that you've heard while helping and working with them? And did you see a difference in them that you saw in regular population inmates?
Yeah, they don't talk too much. Those guys, they barely talk. They quiet, you know. And you know, they smart too. A lot of them valedictorians and stuff like that, wealthy family, that's where they come from. And a lot of them been molested as a child. Yeah, a lot of them. And serial killers are raping like Derek Lee, man, it was cool, you know. Yeah.
You and who?
Derek Lee, that was a serial rapist.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And
Black guy from Baton Rouge.
how was he? You know, was he a cool dude besides all that?
He was cool to me, but a lot of people ain't like him because he always gave the police a lot of problems, and people ain't like that by him giving the police. He always complained a lot about everything. You know, if you bring his food, it's cold, he gonna say something about it. Most dudes will just take their food and eat it. You know, it's cold, You know, because they get all your treatment on that road. Oh yeah, when the inmates say something, they gonna listen.
So royal treatment. So the dive into that a little bit more. So if you're on death row, if you say something, they actually listen compared to the
yeah, because you have all these attorneys come and visit you all the time. They know, them attorneys don't play them.
And what's some of the worst things that you heard from one of those death row inmates that they've done?
But I know a guy, man, it was cool. He killed his whole family, blew the head off. Grandma, all of them. Then I was in a cell with a guy who killed his mother and her boyfriend because he had a relationship with his mother. The guy had a relationship with his mother, and when his mama got a boyfriend, he killed both of them.
Really?
They were white guys, dude, but I mean.